This week I've been family testing the new MG ZST Essence, which is essentially a facelifted version of the popular ZS model. In this video I'll unpack whether you can fit your family and how it competes against other small SUV rivals like the GWM Haval Jolion and the Chery Omoda 5. Keep watching. There are 4 variants for the ZST, and our test vehicle is the top spec Essence model, which will cost you $33,990 drive away. That positions it right in the middle of its rivals, and you get some great features for the price tag. Features like a panoramic sunroof, synthetic leather upholstery, heated front seats, and an electric driver's seat, as well as wide Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, just to name a few. The full specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. Being the newer and shinier version of the ZS, the ZST presents as a nice little package with its full suite of LED lights, chrome accents and well-proportioned body. The front is different from the original ZS design muse because it's been redesigned to feature a darkened grille with new LED lights and air intake vents. Other design highlights include the 17-inch alloy two-tone wheels with their red calipers. The inside is pleasant with the massive sunroof creating a light-filled cabin space. It also creates the illusion that the cabin is a lot larger than what it actually is. The synthetic leather upholstery and trims seem robust, which is perfect for families, but do feel quite plasticky underhand. I do love the red embossing of the badge on the headrest though, it's very cool. The dashboard is well proportioned and is headlined by a 10.1-inch touchscreen multimedia system. The gear shifter is a little bit too skinny and tall for the general aesthetic, but I really like how cool the circular air vents are. They just add a bit of personality in here. The front row enjoys plenty of head and leg room, and the front seats are comfortable and well padded, but do lack lumbar support, which you'll feel on a longer journey. I had to sit closer to the steering wheel than I usually would as well this week because the steering wheel only has height adjustments available. The individual storage is not bad up front with a small middle console and glove box, 2 cup holders and 2 drink bottle holders. I also really appreciate this cute little pocket here, which was perfect for my wallet this week. The options up front for charging are okay with 2 USB-A ports and a 12-volt port. At this price point, those options aren't surprising, but you do miss out on faster or wireless charging options in this. I really like that you get an extra USB-A port up here to support a dash cam if you need to install one. The multimedia system looks great, but can be slow to respond to touch and just to load the apps. I do like though that it has built-in satellite navigation. The digital instrument cluster looks good, and I like how driver-orientated the cockpit feels with how easy it is to access the screens and the buttons. The back seat is spacious for my 168cm height, and the seats themselves are quite comfortable, but with the width of the seats, I do feel like 2 adults will fit best. The seat material can feel a bit slippery when you hit corners as well. The amenities and storage are quite basic in this row. You get 2 map pockets as well as a storage bin in each door and 2 USB-A ports. But my son did miss having directional air vents back here on those hot summer days. There are ISOFIX child seat mounts on the outboard seats plus 3 top tethers. 2 seats are definitely going to fit best, but there is plenty of room for front passengers when a 0 to 4 rearward facing child seat is installed too. The boot is a really good size at 359 litres, and I like that you can reposition the floor and it creates a really deep well in there for larger items. You get a temporary spare wheel underneath that floor, as well as 2 little side pockets that are netted. It has a 60-40 split on the rear seats, but no power tailgate in this model. Our test vehicle has a 1.3 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine with a maximum power output of 115 kilowatts and 230 newton meters of torque. It's a front-wheel drive and features a 6-speed auto transmission. It has enough power that you can keep up with traffic on the open road, but you do have to be firm with the accelerator to keep your speed consistent. For a small car, the ZST Essence has a decent amount of power, but it might start to feel a bit gutless when loaded down with people and luggage. That being said, I've found it quite an adequate cruiser when I've just had to ferry around my husband and son this week. The steering is responsive, and this is quite an easy car to maneuver in tight city streets or a car park. I also like how good the visibility is despite chunkier pillars. The suspension is fairly forgiving and you get a decent ride comfort in this, but you still notice all of the bumps. The cabin does get quite noisy at high speeds with wind and road noise. And during these times, I did find that myself and my passengers had to raise their voices to be heard. This is just totally a personal preference, but the brake and accelerator pedals are quite skinny and more centrally positioned than what I actually prefer. You do get used to it though. This is an easy car to park. You get rear parking sensors, but you do miss out on ones at the front. And you also get a 360-degree view camera system, which is really good. But the image quality can be a bit grainy. The official combined fuel cycle is 7.3 litres per 100 kilometres. And my real-world usage came out at 7.7 litres. I did a really good mix of open road and urban driving this week, so I'm happy with that usage. Based on the official combined cycle and the small 45-litre fuel tank, expect a driving range of around 616 kilometres on average. The ZST comes with a good host of safety features that now come standard, like the blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. But it only has 6 airbags, while many of its rivals sport 7, including the newer front center airbag. The ZST variant is covered by the ZS 4-star ANCAP safety rating that was achieved in 2017. It's important to note though that the tested ZS model didn't have AEB or lane support systems at the time of testing. Those items were introduced on model year 2020 onwards, and this model, the ZST, has those items as well. The full safety specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you need more info. The MG ZST comes with a 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which is on par with what some of its rivals are currently offering. You can get a 7-year or up to 70,000 kilometre servicing program, and services average $334, which is very competitive. Servicing intervals are at every 12 months or 10,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first, which could get annoying if you travel a lot. Will the MG ZST Essence fit your family? Absolutely, and all but the middle seat passengers will find relative comfort. There are some areas it can improve upon, like its laggy tech, safety features, and even adding some amenities in that back row, but it still gets a 7 out of 10 from me because it offers a host of features in an attractive package for a reasonable price tag. My son didn't love this one because of the lack of those amenities, but he did like the panoramic sunroof, so he gives it a 6 out of 10. If you're after more details, check out the full review at carsguide.com.au, and I'll see you next week.